Alright, hey there students. This is Unit 4, Lesson 4, and in this lesson we're going to be talking about how we can use equations to calculate the measures of missing angles. And the first thing I want to do is go over some different definitions of angles that we're going to be using. This should be a review, just fill in the definitions on your homework page.
Alright, the first one we're going to talk about is an acute angle. An acute angle is just an angle that measures less than 90 degrees. Alright, and I do want you to include a picture of that. Alright, so an acute angle, that should be a review from elementary school. The second one is an obtuse angle. An obtuse angle measures between 90 degrees and 180 degrees. Alright, so those are the fatter angles, alright? Alright, that would be an obtuse angle. So know the difference between an acute angle and an obtuse angle, alright? One is skinny, and the other one is fatter and obtuse. Alright? And then we have our standard angle. A lot of you know about this one. It's called a right angle, and a right angle is exactly 90 degrees. Alright, so if you think about a right angle, we think of things like squares, rectangles. They all have right angles. And the way we draw that, there's normally a perfect L, and the symbol that lets us know it's a right angle is a little square in the corner. Anytime you see that little square in the corner, it means that that is a 90-degree angle. It measures exactly 90 degrees. Alright? Number 4 is pretty much common sense. A straight angle is one that measures exactly 180 degrees. Alright? And it is just like a straight line. Alright? Though mine's a little wavy. A straight angle is just a straight line, and it measures exactly 180 degrees. At this point, I want to stop, and I want you to really, if you have to rewind the video, do that. I really want you to pay attention to the measurements of each type of angle, because as we get into this lesson, those become very important when we're trying to figure out the measurement of a missing angle. Alright, so an acute angle is less than 90 degrees. It's a small angle. An obtuse angle measures between 90 degrees and 180 degrees. Those are our fatter angles. A right angle measures exactly 90 degrees. And always remember that little symbol lets me know it measures exactly 90 degrees. That is a real important angle right there. You definitely want to know what a right angle is. And the fourth one is also a very important angle, the straight angle, and it measures exactly 180 degrees, and it's any straight line. So regardless of if it's going diagonally, that's still a straight angle. If it's going vertical, up and down, it is a straight angle. Or if it goes horizontal, it is still a straight angle, and they all measure exactly 180 degrees. Alright? The last one might be new to you, might be a review for some of you, and it's a reflex angle. And a reflex angle measures between 180 degrees and 360 degrees. And the way we'll show that is first I'll draw an acute angle, but we're not talking about the measurement of this angle. We're talking about the measurement of the outside portion. Alright, so that is a reflex angle. So notice here, in the acute angle, we're talking about the measurement of this angle. Right? And in the obtuse angle, we're talking about this angle. We're talking about the inside angle. Here, the same thing with a right angle, we're talking about the measurement of the inside angle. And a straight angle, we're just talking about the entire straight line. But on a reflex angle, we're talking about that outside angle, the outside portion, and it measures between 180 and 360 degrees. Alright? So like I said, that should be a review of some of the key vocabulary. You definitely want to make sure you understand those. I might throw them into some of the Kahoot games, and you might even see it on the mini quiz or on a unit test. So make sure you know the definitions. The first thing I'm going to look at is we're going to look at guided practice part 1. This is where I'm going to guide you through it. So if you just listen to me and follow along with your homework sheet, you can just fill it in. Alright? But it's very important that you listen and really watch what I do. If at any time you get confused, pause the video, rewind it, and watch it again. Alright? So first, let's answer the following questions that are on your sheet. The first one says, what is the measurement of angle ABD? Alright? So here, this is my angle ABD. If I look at my entire picture, if I follow the letters A, B, and then I'll go to D. So I am looking at the measurement of this angle here. And if I look in the problem, it tells me that angle ABD is 57 degrees. Alright? The second question asking me, what is the measure of angle ABC? Again, I follow the letters to identify the angle. A, B, C. So ABC is the entire angle of the picture, right? and ABC, if I look, I have my secret symbol, which is the little square in the corner, which lets me know it's a right angle. So I know that that is 90 degrees. Alright? Because it's a right angle, by definition, it is 90 degrees. Alright, question number 3, and I'm not going to write this down, so you need to jot it down on your guided practice sheet. It says, what is the relationship between angles ABD and angle DBC? Alright, so if we look at those two angles, ABD, that's one of the angles, and I'll use a different color. Angle DBC. If I look at the relationship between those two angles, first of all, they're side by side, and if I combine those two angles, then they will add up to 90 degrees. So in that blank, you can say that angles ABD and DBC have a sum or a total of 90 degrees, which means if I add angle ABD to angle DBC, they will equal 90 degrees. Alright? That's very important that we understand that concept. If you did not understand that, rewind the video and listen to it again. Alright? Question 4 says, okay, now that we know that these two angles add up to 90 degrees, what equation can I write to represent that? Well, that'll be very easy if we know that angle X plus angle ABD, which is 57 degrees. Alright? I know that the total between those two is 90 degrees. Okay? So, let's back it up and let's look at how we got there. Alright? We knew that angle ABD was 57 degrees because the problem told us that. We knew that the entire angle ABC was 90 degrees. It was a right angle. Alright? And then we determined that ABD and DBC, if I add those two angles together, I will get the entire 90 degrees. Alright? So if I add X plus the 57, I'll equal 90 degrees. Alright, so we wanted to figure out what is the measure of our missing angle. I would just have to solve this one-step equation. And based on how you guys did on last Friday's mini quiz, I know you guys are experts in solving one-step equations. So let's solve this bad boy real quick. I will just draw my line. Right. I must remember to do the inverse operation to both sides of the equation. So the opposite of plus 57 degrees would be minus 57 degrees. And remember, whatever I do to one side of the equation, I want to do to the other side. Alright. 57, positive 57, minus 57 will leave me with just X. Alright, those cancel each other out. I'm left with X equals, and 90 subtract 57 is 33 degrees. Alright? So that lets me know that the measurement of my final angle X is 33 degrees, so I can substitute that in. 33 degrees. Alright? Again, I always want to check to make sure that that 33 degrees makes sense, and it would if I add 33 plus the 57 degrees for my first angle. If I add those up, I should get a total of 90 degrees. And I do, alright? So it checks out. I know that the measurement of my missing angle is 33 degrees. Alright, we're going to look at one more guided practice. Alright, just reading the problem first. It says Michelle is designing a parking lot. She has determined that one of the angles should be 15 degrees. What is the measure of angle X and angle Y? Alright, so here's the drawing of our parking lot. Michelle already told us that this parking space needs to be 115 degrees. Our job is to find a measurement of angle X and angle Y. Alright? This could be a real life situation. Alright, so question 1 asks us, how is angle X related to 115 degrees? Alright? If I look, both of these angles, angle X and the angle that measures 115 degrees, they both run along this straight angle. Alright? And if we think back to our definitions, a straight angle measures 180 degrees. Alright? So in that blank for number 1 in the guided practice part 2, how is angle X related to a 115 degree angle? That we can say that the sum of these two angles would be 180 degrees. And I could show that with the equation X plus 115 would equal 180 degrees. Alright? And I know that because of this straight line. Both of these angles make up that straight line. Alright? Looking at the second part, it says what is the relationship, or how is the angle Y and the 115 degree angle related? Again, I'll use a different color. These two also share a straight angle. If I look, this is a straight line here. And remember I told you, it doesn't matter if they go horizontal, diagonal, or vertical. They're still straight angles. So I know that angle Y plus this 115 degree angle will measure 180 degrees. So I can use the equation Y plus 115 degrees equals 180. Alright. And by looking at that, I should be able to tell that angle X is going to be equal to angle Y. Alright? But let's prove that by solving the one-step equation for each of them. Alright? I would do the inverse operation, so instead of adding 115, I would cancel it out by subtracting 115 to both sides. Those two cancel out. I'm left with X equals 65. Alright? I can do the same thing here. The math will not change. I will do the inverse operation of both sides. And that would be Y equals 65 degrees. Alright? Always check your answer using substitution. So if I substitute 65 plus 115, I should get my total, which is 180 degrees. And I do, so it checks out. Alright? I do have one independent practice problem for you at the bottom. Tomorrow we're going to practice a lot on finding the missing angles. We're going to play a game called Scoop. We played it before. The main thing that you really need to focus on when you're solving these problems is, if we go back to practice number 1, is determining on, is it a right angle, which will equal 90 degrees, or are your two angles a straight angle, which equals 180 degrees. Once you figure that out, it's pretty easy on determining the measurement of the missing angle. Alright, again, if any of that confused you, please go back and rewind the video and watch it again until it sinks in and you really understand it. Because when you come into class on Wednesday, we're going to be practicing a lot of these type of problems. Alright, see you later. Over and out.
Damn.